I loved drawing. Did not sketch yesterday. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rinze. In this video, I'm going to learn how to sketch realism. So to tell you the backstory, as a kid, I loved drawing. I still do. I do a lot of trees, mountains, flowers, rivers, and I really wanted them to be so real on my page, but it never really happened. Maybe because I am so lazy to learn the method, and maybe because it is so difficult to do realism. And that's why I end up just copying the picture and trying my best to get the carbon copy of that. But today was the day I felt like I should really learn realism. I'm going to make sure I learn realism for good. So today what I'm going to do is find videos where I can learn some methods of realism, and after that I'm going to implement these methods in my drawing and to see whether I can really improve my art or not. So let's go and see. Before doing that, I'm going to show you some few portraits I did in the past where I tried my best to make sure it looks so real. So there were so many YouTube videos on realism. I will list some of the video links that I have watched in my description down below so that you guys can check out if you want to learn too. In summary, almost all the videos focused on two main things: proportion and shading.
1 hour later. As I was watching tutorial videos, I found out that my previous portrait didn't go well because my proportion was not correct. So this time I wanted to make sure that my proportions are correct. Apparently there are 3 different ways to get our proportion correctly. As mentioned by Timmy Danso in one of her videos, she said that there are 3 ways, and one is tracing, second is grid, and the last one is freehand. I never thought that grid method can also be used in getting the proportion correctly. So I thought I would use grid method while drawing, but later I changed to freehand because I was so lazy to draw the grids. So I started drawing the eye as to make myself ready for the bigger picture. I couldn't find the better reference than my eyeliner cover, so I had to use that to draw the eye. I think getting the proportion on point is the worst part of realism. If the proportion is diverted by 1 degree or so, your portrait is gonna be like something is missing. So I was thinking to myself that I need to get my proportions perfectly for my portrait to look exactly like my reference. Here, as I was drawing my eyes, I still felt my proportion was not good. The next day.
This is the day 2. Actually, it's just a 1-day work, but I was so tired and lazy yesterday, so I did not draw and did not sketch yesterday, but today I'm going to sketch.
Tomorrow for sure.
So I couldn't finish the project the day after also. I had to force myself to complete this challenge. I was drawing nose and lips to warm up.
Nose has always been the hardest part of the face for me to draw because it always had that division of lines which cannot be drawn with sharp line but had to be subtle one. So it was a struggle for me to get that perfect division between the face and the nose. And as I was watching videos, I found out that we can create this division by creating the contrast between the lighter and the darker shades. And the other thing that I learned is that we should always keep our mind open and draw whatever you see and not draw what we think the reference looks like.
Much later.
My biggest concern was definitely proportion because all the tutorial videos talked about getting proportion correctly, and if I do not get the proportion correctly, then definitely my portrait will not look like the reference and it will not look real. Here I was trying my best to get my proportion correctly, and it took me around 10 minutes to get it correctly because if not, my drawing would not look like Olivia. At first, I honestly thought I should do grid method, but then again, grid method had so much thing to do. I had to draw lines and I was so lazy to do that, so I just opted for freestyling and hoping that it would come out great. Honestly, I thought my proportion was quite similar to my reference. The thing that concerned me was the fact that Olivia had a tilted face and not a straight face, which might give me some more difficulties while I draw. Overall, I was pretty happy with my proportions. After my proportions was done, I started doing my eye first. I don't know why, but I always start with my eye whenever I do portraits. And since the face was tilted little to the side, I found the eye to be little uneven. So I knew I'm going to struggle in this. As I have mentioned earlier, drawing nose was one of the most difficult parts of the face. I had to produce the depth of the nose by doing different shades. I found shading very difficult here because I didn't see much of shadows in this reference photo, so I was trying my best to give some shades and some depth to the picture. Or maybe I just didn't know how to differentiate the shades. I believe it took me around 30 minutes to complete this portrait. At first, I didn't know what reference to pick, and I took around an hour to figure out who to draw. I remember asking myself, who was your favorite artist? And it right away came Olivia Rodrigo. So I straight away googled the black and white picture of Olivia. Honestly, I was genuinely excited to draw her because I love her so much. I remember listening to Driver's License on my birthday month, and I was so hooked by the lyrics. And after that, I was forever her fan. I loved every song she made, starting from Sour to Guts album. I really loved it. Here I was giving the final touches to the art and trying my best to make sure it looks exactly like the reference. Not gonna lie, I was pretty happy with my drawing because I was expecting something bad, but it came out decent.